Welcome back to the Mind and Money podcast. I'm Val, a financial planner.
And I'm Sherry, a financial coach. And today we are reviewing some life hacks on a recent video. Well, maybe not recent by the time this goes out. Shared on Instagram by Victoria.
Yeah, so she calls it the Daily Victorian. I don't know if she actually posts daily, but maybe.
I didn't actually look at that.
I didn't look either. We will not hold her to that. But this one is life hacks.
And it really just caught my eye because a lot of them really resonated with me. So we're just going to go over them and just share our 2 cents with all of them. Belle's got the list. Take it away, my dear.
I have the list. There's 17 of them. We are not doing all 17. We went through and picked 14. Still pretty much all of them.
We're not doing 17.
Yeah,
that's
we're
ridiculous.
doing 14. So the first one is when someone says something rude to you, or whether it's about you or not, ask them, what do you mean by that?
I love this one. And I've seen this in other ways on social media. Basically, calling people out on their shit. And then when they say it, it's kind of like a little snide remark. And then you ask them to double down on it. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you said something you weren't supposed to say, and your parent or an adult around you was like, what was that? What did you say? And you're like, oh, nothing, never mind.
Have you had the chance to practice this one?
I haven't, because I gratefully don't interact with a whole lot of assholes, except for the commenters on social media sometimes.
Yes. I concur, but I will definitely be keeping that in my back pocket for if I do come across someone.
Can you explain that?
Yes.
Asshole?
Yes. The second one is, if you have a corporate job, keep a running list of the projects that you're working on and links to the documents, also referred to, Sherry had said, as a quit list. However, we had a different spin on this.
Yeah, and that spin is on more about when you're having job evaluations, performance reviews, or talking to your boss about raises to show really the value. Because having a quit list is great, but it depends on how you leave the company, right? So in my situation, if I had this when I got fired, it would really be doing the company a big favor.
Really nice.
And I wouldn't have wanted to do that. But if you leave on amicable terms and you want to have the opportunity to potentially come back, it could be a great resource to pass on. So it just depends on how you leave.
Yeah. And or if you say got promoted, then much easier to pass off to the next person and to train them if you have that organized aspect.
True.
Putting deodorant on at night. And Sherry also shared dry shampoo at night as well. Or not at night.
Yeah, like dry shampoo apparently is more effective shortly after you wash your hair versus trying to have it fight the greasiness.
So it's
proactive.
Preventative. Or proactive, not reactive. The deodorant on at night, I mean, sometimes I do that now because of night sweats and just like how I sleep.
You're having night sweats now.
I can't wait.
And I think too, it's more like post shower versus I think it's more like when you put the deodorant on around your shower versus, so if you're a night shower.
Are you a night showerer?
I'm a post whenever the hell I am able to motivate myself to work out shower.
Same. Last time I saw them list. So keeping this list in your phone for the people that you don't see as frequently in life. And Sherry, can you dive a little deeper into what that would look like?
I fucking love this because it's taking notes, and especially for ADHD brains where, it's out of sight, out of mind. If we don't see somebody for a while, we don't think about them necessarily, but we also forget what those conversations were. So imagine you're having a conversation with somebody you haven't seen in 3 months and they're like, oh yeah, how was that? Blah, blah, blah. That event you were going to, that graduation, that course you were putting on, that new launch in your business. And you just would really feel seen and heard and cared for. So to help you with this, and I would think a great place to do this is in their contact information in your phone. You can do it. There's a notes section.
But then if you share that contact with someone, like if they're like, oh, can I have Sherry's number? And I shared it, would the note go with it?
Oh, that's a good question. We might have to test that out.
Yeah.
But just having a spot where you can make note of things you want to remember to talk about with that person next time. And I also love to include somebody's coffee order.
Yes.
Here, if there's somebody that I am out getting coffee for, or if there's somebody that I'm like, I just know that that's going to happen down the road. If there's a reason why they share that with me, I'm just like, make a note of it, because there's nothing nicer than showing up at somebody's house with a coffee that's what they would have ordered if they were there.
Yes, I love that.
Don't depend on your brain.
I used to think I could keep it all up there, especially when I first started in business. You can't. Hotels over Airbnb. So this was more around you'll pay less and then you won't have to ask a random guy how his shower works. I I could go either way on this one because it depends on a few different factors.
And the biggest thing for me is time. If I'm
Yes.
staying someplace for one night, it just needs to be quick and easy. I don't want to have to figure out where I'm going, how to get there, how to access the place. But if I'm going for a longer period of time, like 2, 3, 4 days a week, an Airbnb is really nice because not only can you specify what you want it to have, a big one for me is a kitchen. If I'm going away for a long period of time, I don't dislike eating out. It's just a lot more steps than eating at home and making something at home. So I like to have a kitchen if I'm out for a longer period of time away from home. And I always look for ones that allow keypad access. Like basically, I don't want to have to interact with the person
Yes.
that I am staying in their home.
Please do not meet me to let me in.
If you have to give me a physical key, that's a deal breaker.
I don't want to stay.
You give me a little number, I put it in, I get in, I can come at 2 a.m, and anytime that I can get it. So yeah, the least I can interact with a stranger, the better.
Agreed.
Which is why a hotel, and like a hotel's just, you don't have to jump through any extra hoops when you're leaving too.
Right. Saying sorry when you're wrong, because it's the right thing to do. It makes you look mature. How are you right now in this area? You're like, well, I'm never wrong. I don't know.
That's exactly what my husband would say if you asked him this question about me. No, I am getting better with it. It doesn't happen very often.
Would it be primarily with Jason?
Probably.
Yes. Yes. As the person you are most frequently interacting with.
Yeah. And I think it's less, sorry. It's more, you were right. I was wrong. But I am pretty good. The thing that I'm probably apologizing the most for is being a little snappy, because if I'm
hungry,
if I'm focused on something and just like
hormones too for me.
Yeah. Especially if it's like, if I've already reread a sentence in my book 3 times because I'm like, something's distracting me. And then if Jason will say something and I know probably the loud exhale, I'm conscious of it and I try not to do it, but I'm good about apologizing. Like, oh, sorry, I just bit your head off. Love you. It's funny how we tend to be the least thoughtful of our actions for the people we spend the most time with, because you're like, he's gonna love me no matter what. I can bite his head off a couple of times.
Well, it's like how a toddler can be the little shit to its parent.
You could be a toddler.
I would say I've been getting better at coming back, viewing a situation and being like, why was I like that? Sitting with it and then going back and saying and explaining maybe where I was coming from, being like, hey, I was really into my book and I had just reread it. I was frustrated. Sorry about that. Yeah.
It's tough to say sorry and admit fault, but it gets a little easier.
Practice, right? This one is controversial. She's like, get a dog. If you can take good care of it, it's good for your mental health. I agree. My dogs are the reason I am as consistently walking and outside as much as I am.
However, they can be pricey. This is an item that people don't plan for enough when it comes to their money. And then something big happens and it derails their budget and they give up on it. So it's like, it's both the regular things like dog food, toys, treats, boarding, walking,
daycare,
and like the big things like large vet expense. Your dog eats something or gets into something or is acting funny, and an emergency vet visit is costly. And then if it gets into surgery or x-rays and quick sidebar, pet insurance, not necessarily a bad thing, but there's so many different versions of it.
You want to know what you have and what your deductible is and what's covered and what's not covered. Because just because you have pet insurance does not mean that your regular visit is covered. So I agree in the sense of, like, yes, it benefits mental health, but do not get that for the sole purpose. You have to look at the holistic picture of, can my time, do I travel a lot? Because now I'm organizing care for La Pup. Is it fair for them? And I'm not saying get a puppy. I'm an adopt, don't shop human, but that comes with its own bag of goodies as well. So agree, but do it with a plan and think it through. Think it through. Please create a folder. And she had said on this app, so Instagram, where you could save videos of love it for you, want it for me. Because when we have jealousy come up, jealousy is typically telling us something that we want or desire.
Yeah, and I've never heard of this app before, but you can just do this in your notes app too. And I think tuning into, I'm feeling jealousy over this person traveling, getting a new car, quitting their job to focus full time on their business, and then asking yourself, like, whoop, pause. I notice I'm feeling jealousy. Why am I feeling jealousy? And then thinking about, I would really love to do that. And then making a note of it. And then next time you're looking at life goals or financial goals, you can pull that list out, and that list can help you determine what you want to do with your life.
I think it's important, just like you said, Sherry, to feel that feeling and take it and do something constructive with it. So put it into a list of like don't just sit in the jealousy, feel it and then go, okay, move through it. And what is it telling me? So listen to it and store it somewhere. Number 9, what people brag about is typically what they're the most insecure about. And I see this on the social media all the time, primarily spouses posting with a lot of emojis and a lot of lovey-dovey things. And I used to totally feel like, and I should bring that back to our last point, like jealous. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at them showcasing each other and just being so in love. I was totally buying it. However, everything looks great on the surface. Multiple of those couples are no longer couples.
Yeah, and I think we touched on this in an episode that was out recently-ish. Being able to understand and take what you're seeing on social media and even in conversations with people, take it with a grain of salt. If they're as happy as they've ever been, their business is so successful, their relationships are so successful, maybe they're overcompensating for something that's not going so well by talking about it a lot.
Or so yeah, like what they're talking about, but maybe also what we observe of them. So what they're wearing, what they're driving, and assuming that the brand new truck they pulled up in, oh my gosh, they must be doing so well. They must be doing so well. Lest we forget, that is the tip of the iceberg. Please remember what's below the water.
Analogy, X number of minutes into episode.
Number 10, set a timer to focus. I do this. Current day.
It's more set a timer to stop the focus.
You give yourself a little recess?
Yeah. Or I'll set a timer to remember something. Like I will set a timer if I put laundry in the washing machine. I will set a timer on my watch that will go off when the laundry is done. And a lot of times I repeat it. So then I want to get the laundry out when it's done in an hour, but sometimes it ends up being 2 hours. But it helps
better than 3 business days.
Yeah, true. It helps me remember to do things in a lot of cases. But also, I think we've talked about this multiple times, like my move alert on my Apple Watch. If I haven't moved and it's 10 minutes to the hour, it will be like, get up, bitch. So it's often breaks me out of a crap. It feels like 5 minutes ago that alarm went off. The last time it was actually an hour. It makes me more like aware of the time.
Pulls you back. Say the thing out loud that you're most likely to forget. So growing up, before I embraced the curls, totally unplugging my straightener, and I have 3 sisters, so whoever used it last sort of thing, but not being able to remember, like sitting on the school bus and thinking, did I unplug that? Sometimes taking a picture of it, sometimes. But if you say it out loud, you're more likely to remember saying it. So I am locking the door. I am putting the dogs inside. I am unplugging my straightener.
And I like the taking pictures of it idea. I will use this also when I need to remember to do something. If I'm leaving my office and I'm going downstairs to fill up my water bottle and change the laundry water as I'm walking.
Like hyper-focus. This is what I have to do.
And it's not 100% because sometimes I'll be like, okay, I got my water. Shit, I know there was
the other thing. And then you get back up here.
Yeah. And then my watch goes off and it's like, yeah, it's been 3 hours. I need to change my laundry.
So saying it out loud helps. The other one is, we're at number 12, establish a wait time before certain purchases, which we have talked about in previous episodes. Pressing the pause, putting it on the wants list. And she mentioned above a certain threshold. I mean, I would say more so any kind of want spending, just because if you're like, oh, it's only $10, but you do that 20 times over, that's the threshold, right? Like
the death by 1,000 cuts
Yes.
to your budget. And yeah,
Yes.
I love the waiting period. And for me, the waiting period sometimes looks like leaving it in a cart somewhere online.
Oh, yeah.
I have been doing a wants list too, which I like, which I'm horrible at rewarding myself when things go well. So that wants list helps me like, oh, I'm going to celebrate. It's a reward time. And then I'll go to the wants list and use that for inspiration.
Like, what am I picking out of my treasure chest?
But often if you put something in the cart and then you don't get it, they'll send you offers to encourage you to get it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Schedule emails so you don't look nocturnal and or you look like you're working really late or you look like you're working really early. I will do this if I am up late working. I'll schedule them for the next morning and text, which is great. Only Apple, so iMessage or whatever.
Yeah.
Love that feature.
Love that feature for email. I don't worry about it so much for text because I'm like, if you have your notifications on and you're asleep, that's a you problem. But for email, I actually do it. The reason I do it a lot is because if I tell somebody I'm going to do something at a certain timeline, I don't like sometimes my brain can't relax until I've already done the thing. So if I say, yeah, I will follow up with you about this in a week, I will go in and schedule the email for a week from now, but I know that I've done it already and I don't have to like, it's just out of my brain. It's a task that I
want my brain to have that.
And I also use it sometimes too, to know that I don't want clients to know that I'm responding like in an hour because I don't want to set that expectation. But if I see it and I have time, I will respond, but then I'll send it to go the next day.
I like that. Last one. Talk nicely about yourself. And I say this all the time to my little guy. Be kind in your mind. Be your own best friend because your subconscious is always listening.
Yes, yes. And I had a client who shared with me last week something that her manager said to her that, you know, she was a really amazing part of the team and her contributions are positive. And I can't remember exactly what, but I'm like, write that shit down on a sticky note, write it down on a sticky note and put it somewhere where you're going to see it regularly because sometimes life just gets tough. And if you've got somebody that said something to you that was really impactful, or you've got a phrase that resonates with you that creates positivity, put it somewhere where you're going to see it on the regular so that you can be reminded how fucking amazing you are because you are. Yeah, we'd love to hear any tips or things that you've got that kind of align with the things we've shared today. And I'll add the link to the video that inspired this too in the show notes. But we are glad you have been here and we can't wait to see you next time on the Mind and Money Podcast.